Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, our group will present about the Sustainable Development Goals, known as SDG. And firstly, do you guys know what is SDG? Okay, it also known as the Global Goal, were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by the 2013 all people enjoy peace and prosperity. Before that, let me introduce my group member. Firstly, my name is Mahmud Hambali bin Zamzam, and I will cooperate with my colleague, Brother Iqbal, Brother Uzaimi, and Brother Faruqi. In this video, we will explain two sustainable development goals, which we have chose. First, education quality, and the second is responsibility, consumption, and production. And for the first SDG, it will be explained by me and Brother Iqbal, and for the second SDG, will be explained by Brother Huzaimi and Brother Faruqi. For this part, me and Brother Iqbal will explain about the educational quality. And the topic that we have chose is tertiary education, which is one of the most popular topic nowadays. And the issue that we want to raise is tertiary education should be made free for all. For the goals number 4 in the Sustainable Development Goals, which is called as education quality, it targets to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promotes lifelong learning opportunities for all. This goal support the reduction of disparities and inequities in education, both in terms of access and quality. It recognizes the need to provide quality education for all, and especially vulnerable population, including poor child, children living in rural area, person with disabilities, and indigenous people, and lastly, refugee children. Okay, for our first opinion regarding the issue of tertiary education should be made free for all is it can reduce student burden in the financial management. In countries where tertiary education is not free, students often take on significant amount of debt to finance their education. This debt can take years, if not decades, to repay. Free tertiary education would remove this financial pressure, allowing students to pursue their education goals without the fear of long-term financial hardship. For example, many students rely on to cover tuition, accommodation, books, and living expenses after graduation. Repaying this loan can be a major burden, especially for those who does not secure high-paying job immediately. Thus, reducing student debt or financial burden is one of the reasons why tertiary education should be made free for all.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Iqbal Alif, and I will continue what Hambali is talking about just now. The idea of making tertiary education free for all is a compelling one with numerous potential benefits. First and foremost, it could significantly increase access to higher education, allowing individuals from all socio-economic backgrounds to pursue their academic and career goals without the burden of student debt. Free education will eliminate financial barriers that often prevent students from low-income and middle-income family from pursuing higher education. This will likely lead to a more diverse student body, enriching the educational experience for all. By having a large number of students, it can lead to a higher retention and graduation rates, ultimately benefiting the society with a more educated populace. This could lead to a more educated workforce, which is essential for driving innovation and economic growth. A more educated workforce can lead to a higher production and innovation, boosting the economy in the long run. Increased educational attainment is often correlate with higher tax revenues, which can help fund other public services. Overall, free tertiary education could create a more equitable and prosperous society by enabling more individuals to reach their full potential, contributing to both personal and social growth. That's all from me. I will pass this session to my friend.
So you guys have heard from Brother Hambali and Brother Iqbal about the fourth SDG, which is quality education. So let us move on to the next topic. But did you know, in this digital world, we could not escape from the problem of increasing pollution and inadequate waste management systems. Various industrial sectors have surely become one of the main contributors for this issue. But if we did not act immediately, it would eventually lead to serious health and environmental problems. Did you know that on average, each person in this world contributes about 120 kilograms of food waste annually? And also in 2018, a study found that carbon footprints in more developed countries is much higher, 10 times higher than underdeveloped countries. This number keeps rising day by day. And how should we stop it from becoming more serious? That's where the SDG goals become useful. By the way, you must be thinking how this goal would help us in this issue of environmental issue, health problems, and also the waste management systems. So the 12th goal of UN Sustainable Development Goals, which is to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns, could be the answer to mitigate the issues of pollution and waste management. So why not we go to Brother Faruqi to tell us more about this SDG and the problems.
Thank you to Brother Rani for the amazing session back then. So I will move on to the next agenda. Pollution, whether it came from the industrial emissions, vehicle fumes, agricultural runoff, or domestic waste, would mainly contribute to the various health problems. These include respiratory and cardiovascular disease, cancer, immune system disorder, and pneumonia, and many others. The vulnerable communities like children, the elderly, or those who live in rural areas, especially on the urban, where their daily life is exposed to this chemical substance, that would lead to these issues and problems. In addition, contaminated water and air could lead to long-term health consequences, which not only affecting the vulnerable population but also becoming a time bomb to the healthcare system in much countries. Meanwhile, inadequate waste management system would lead to the severity of these issues. Nowadays, we could see the poorly managed landfills contributing chemical toxins into the soil and water, which lead them to being contaminated and cannot be supplied to us for our daily life activities, and such as river and water bodies. To add to that, plastic waste has been polluting our oceans and biodiversities, which would eventually harm the wildlife and enter our food chains. This could be seen from microplastic that have been found in our foods and seeds and its source. As an effect, it would not only endanger the environments but also become a serious threat to the food security and human health. Did you know about the 3R, which is reduce, reuse, and recycles? Nowadays, there are new terms, which is the upcycling. What is upcycling? Upcycling is the waste management where we reuse recycling waste into product of high quality, such as our neighborhood developed country, Singapore, using their citizen plastic waste and turn it into a substance for constructing local roads. This substance is called new bitumen. This is much a sustainable approach where we reduce the waste and we reuse it into something that provide benefits to the locals. This new bitumen is mainly constructed from not just plastic but unrecyclable waste. So Singapore has turned the unrecyclable to recyclable, and this will inject a new agenda to the world where they make the impossible to possible. So what is the role of government? Government role is to propose an upcycling facilities for the consumer waste and turn it into economic productions. That's all from the four of us about the sharing session about the SDGs, quality educations, and the responsible consumers and productions. Thank you.